Alrighty guys, welcome back. This is kind of a concession video, essentially. So, for those of you that watched, the Italians threw everything that they had at Egypt, and then shortly thereafter, on the next turn, Dak was able to take and hold Lower Egypt, and there's no way for me to take it back, at least within a turn, if not two. Which then situates a possibility that it's kind of a runaway effect for them. In addition to that, we lost Calcutta. So losing Calcutta and Lower Egypt are both huge losses for the British. And the group agreed that it was unlikely to progress any direction other than in more of a favorable position for the Axis. So in light of that, we decided to call the game and call it a victory for the Axis. We didn't count victory points given that it was so early. Obviously, Russia was in a rough situation given that they lost Earl Kursk and that they had also lost Transcaucasia. While they did control a lot of land zones outside of their home country, it wasn't looking the greatest. Given that they were only able to attack one land zone, and that probably would have been southern Belarusia to hit the mechanized units that were up for the hit and available to be struck. So, given that, the Germans would have gone even deeper into Russia, which would have resulted in a less likely chance that they would have been able to hold on, while the U.S. sent reinforcements. Now, the U.S. had sent a force over to essentially the Straits of Gibraltar. That force was there, although that force wouldn't have been big enough to probably mount much of an attack into mainland Europe. More than likely would have been used for is a coordinated assault with the British attacking into Italy. More than likely we would have attacked Lazio for the major shipyard and held that position until we had a large enough force to attack Rome. Now, it's always possible we would have also hit northern Italy, given that they only had a contingency force of, I think, 6 or 7 infantry class units, and it's not a mountainous land zone. So that might have been an easier battle, given that we had aircraft and the applicable force to take it. And then, of course, we might have also just decided to go ahead and go for it and take Rome. So that would have helped us, but the problem again was that we had lost Lower Egypt. It was unlikely to take it back, and Calcutta had been lost, and there was basically nothing to take it back in Asia against the Japanese. And the Japanese had an insanely large force built up all throughout Asia, and the U.S. had a small task force that was not going to be able to rival them in any capacity. So given the context of both of those, and in addition to the loss of the British fleet in the Mediterranean, that big battle that took place in M8, I myself made some bad calls. I was unavailable that the changes with I think it was 4.2, and it may have been even 4.0, because it's been 2 years since I played a YouTube war last. But I was unaware that submarines have to submerge after the first round of combat if they're the defender. So that was a bad call for me. The other bad call was that I forgot to list the seaplane for casualty. So between those two units, that battle went very unfavorable for me, and ultimately we lost it, with the exception of the submarine and the seaplane surviving. So between that catastrophic battle and then the loss of Lower Egypt and the loss of Calcutta, we didn't feel that it was going to be necessary to continue. So given that, and with the introduction of the changes for 4.3, we've decided to go ahead and start up another game and reset the board. So we are almost ready. We should be ready to start a new game sometime either this weekend or early next week. And that will be called Operation Northwind. And those of you that are familiar with Operation Northwind, it is a German offensive that took place, I believe, in 1944 against the Allies through, I believe, the corridor right through here. So we're essentially going to utilize that as the name of the operation. And we will have myself playing again as the British and the French, along with the FEC and ANZAC. My partner will be playing the US and KMT, and that will be, I believe it's Backfire Burner is what he goes by now. He used to be called Knights Templar. But Dan Camden will be playing for that. Tim is going to play as the Axis this time around, so he's going to play as Germany and Italy as well as the Japanese. Tim goes by, I believe, Q-Ball8 on YouTube. And then, of course, Robert will be playing again, which is, I think, 5-star general or 4-star general. He will be playing the Russians again. So we'll just have a 4-player game going this coming YouTube war. Again, Operation Northwind. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. But we look forward to this next YouTube war that we have every intention of playing all the way through to the end. So thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you soon.